how to use your core values, or what I call the house rules, to help you develop leaders, a team, and the culture that you want. Well, as I just said, I often refer to a company's core values as the house rules, because when they are developed well and used correctly, they do the same thing for you as an organization as do the rules of your home. For instance, at my house, we basically have a rule that when you come to our house, take your shoes off at the front door. We live on a farm, and so we just want to maintain the control over the dirt a little bit. Now, if you don't like those rules, okay, I may let it slide depending upon how dirty your shoes are, but other times I may just not allow you to come in the house. Now, that's my right, it's my house. If you don't like those rules, then you can choose not to come back to my house the next time. My house, my rules. The same thing then sets up an objective set of standards for your managers to use in establishing standards of behavior that allow all your team members to work well together to help you achieve your vision and fulfill your mission. Now, this is really effective, particularly when you have conflict-averse managers. Your core values then become this objective standard that all managers across the organization have to implement and enforce so that there is consistency and you can start getting momentum in building the culture and the team that you want. As Robert Katz has said, standards are not what you say, they're what you accept. And so by having a non-negotiable set of values that set the house standard for behaviors, you can start getting momentum in developing the team and the culture that you want through great leaders. So how do you establish these values that get you to the culture that you want? Well, you start with the end in mind. So the first thing that you do is really take some time to intentionally think about what kind of an organization do we want to be as far as our culture? What do we want our personality to be? How do we want our energy level? What do we want the focus, the feeling, the tone, the vibe to be here? What's going to feel good to us as owners, as leaders, and what's going to feel good for the right type of employees we want to attract? Let's describe this environment that we want to work in. Let's capture those adjectives. Once you have those terms, those adjectives captured, then you sit down and say, what behaviors are needed of everyone, from the newest hire to the CEO? What behaviors are needed of everyone day in and day out to make that personality, that culture that we want come alive? And what you simply do then is you take those ideas, those adjectives, those descriptors, and you write them as actionable behaviors. And those behaviors, those actionable behaviors, will become your core values. The third step then is to identify, once you have that core set of behavior, those core values, that set of behavior identified, how do you share it? How do you model it? How you reinforce it? And this again is where you create an objective focus point for your leaders to be the leaders your team needs them to be. How well are they modeling the behaviors that are listed in the core values themselves? How well are they reinforcing them and communicating them and sharing them, holding people accountable to them? How well are they looking at these values as they're stepping out their recruitment activities, as they're stepping out their training and development activities, their coaching and mentoring? Are they focusing on the values and the behaviors that they say are important to them as leaders and to you as an organization? So the 3 steps in creating the values that help you get to the culture that you want are: first, identifying the culture that you want; second, determining the behaviors that are going to make that culture come alive; and third, to share, model, and reinforce those values every single day.